What's up, my dudes? Alright, Ironman race recap time. Here we go. We're going to be talking about the Ironman National here for 2022. That wrapped up a few hours ago. And yes, I probably should be getting this out immediate post-race. But hey, I have things to do in this life. So that's why this is a little late here. I really don't care. I'm sure it'll get views no matter what. Anyway, Ironman race recap here. I'm going to start off with the 250 class because there's not much to talk about here. I mean, there's things to talk about, of course, especially with this certain 438 rider. But hey, there's not that much to talk about at the front because no disrespect, but Jet Lawrence, that sounds super disrespectful saying, oh yeah, not a lot, not very impressive at the front here because Jet Lawrence goes what? Was it 1-3 for the overall? But yeah, Jet Lawrence finally gets an overall, his first since Washougal. Yeah, there was a point there in the middle, like Unadilla or Bud's Creek there, where it's like, will he get an overall? Will he not? It was kind of weird. But Jet finally gets an overall here. Like I said, first since Washougal, and he gets his first Moto win since Millville, which is pretty crazy to think about. But yeah, Jet Lawrence wins the overall. I think it was Joe Shimoda's second overall. Tough first Moto for him, and honestly, going into the second Moto, with the way Joe Shimoda's day was going, it actually seemed like Jet could wrap up the title today. Unfortunately for him, he's gonna have to wait till Fox. So now we're gonna have two titles clinched at Fox Raceway, which is pretty crazy, and we'll get into the 450 class because that was wild too. But yeah, Jet Lawrence, Joe Shimoda, Hunter Lawrence back on the podium. That was cool to see. Hunter went 3-2, I believe, for third overall. So 3-1 goes to Jet for first overall. 5-1 goes to Joe, which is insane, and then 3-2 for Hunter for third overall. Another guy that had a really good day was Nate Thrasher. I'm sure y'all noticed him. He got the whole shot in Moto 1 and led for a long time. I mean, it wasn't till I think 10 minutes to go when Jet Lawrence got around Nate Thrasher for the lead, and from there Jet took off, obviously. But still, Nate, really good day for Nate Thrasher, and this sets up well for 2023 as well. Just confidence, man, confidence. And actually, I forgot, Hunter Lawrence and Joe Shimoda got docked 2 points. Oh, actually, no, not Joe. Hunter Lawrence and Justin Cooper got docked 2 points in the first Moto for jumping on a red cross flag. I don't know if y'all saw that. It was on the broadcast. Personally, I missed it. But yeah, you could clearly see they jumped on the red cross flag, and yeah, so a lot happened in the 250, but compared to the 450 class, not a lot happened. But I do have some sub storylines, but we'll save that for after the 250 class. RJ Hampshire was able to pull, what was it, third in the second. Hampshire pulled a second in the first Moto. So that was pretty good. He didn't talk crap on the bike, which is good. Just a good day for Jet Lawrence at the races. Now, what everyone probably wants to hear, and I'm sure everyone knows at this point because my race recap is so damn late. Anyway, how did Hayden Deegan do? Oh boy. First of all, let me talk about Gavin Towers real quick. I didn't even see him the whole day. I saw him a little bit in practice, and other than that, I didn't really see him the whole day. I'm sure everyone forgot that he went pro at this race because of little Hayden Deegan, but hey. Hey, I don't even know what Gavin Towers did, so I can't comment on that. Talon Hawkins was racing today. I didn't even know he was racing until literally first Moto when I saw him on the leaderboard. Talon was racing today. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he got inside the top 25 in both motos. But like I said, correct me if I'm wrong on that. But then everyone's golden child here, Hayden Deegan. Decent start, was running 11th in the first moto, and that was, like I said, that was where I had him, 10 to 15, in that 10 to 15 range. But hey, if you followed my channel the past few hours, or I'm sure everyone's seen it at this point, he had a gnarly get off in that back section after the bridge, which was gnarly. The fact that he was even up from that, I mean, he didn't plow into the ground, but he pretty much plowed into the ground. Big crash for Hayden Deegan. Did not finish the first moto. Comes out the second moto. Looked like he had another big crash off the start. He got together with Slade Smith in this corner right here, and it looked pretty bad as well, but was able to fight back for 24th, I believe. So DNF 24, and honestly, he was probably going to get top 15 had he not died in the first moto. But yeah, honestly, I didn't expect Hayden to do well in at Ironman. I expect big things from Hayden Deegan at Paula, though, because if you remember, Hayden Deegan grew up riding Paula. I know the track and the breakdown of that track is not the same as practice days as it is on pro days, but still, he's gonna be really good at Paula. I think if he can pull a whole shot, he can do what Max Vohland did there at the beginning of 2021 and just lead for a long time. I wouldn't be surprised with it. But yeah, expect big things from Hayden Deegan at Paula because he grew up riding that track. Yeah, so like I said, rough pro debut. As Brian and he said it, he's just there to learn, and I think he got a big welcome to pros with that crash, and I'm sure the pace, we didn't see a lot of him, but he looked okay. Like, he didn't look absolutely horrible. He didn't look stiff. I mean, he looked a little stiff, but that's to be expected here. So, good pro debut for Hayden, other than the crash. Right, my boy Ryder D. He was actually beating Ryder D in the first moto before the accident, so I think Hayden Deegan will do good. I just think today he struggled, and today probably the first race jitters got to him. So, like I said, expect big things from him at Paula, and yeah, he got the first one out of the way. So that's what I'm gonna say. And I guess that's all I have for 250 class. I was trying to think of other things. Max Vohland was really good too. Max, I think if he can get a start, I believe he can win a moto at Paula. I know that's wild, off the wall, especially with how good Jet is there. Honestly, do you really think Jet's going to go for it next week? Just really ask yourself, do you really think Jet's going to go for it next week? Anyway, let's go to my subplots here, my sub-storylines that don't have to pertain to the race. And I really only could think of one in this, which is the amateur combine kicked off. And Chance Hymas went 1-1 in that. Looked like he dominated. There were some pretty sketchy moments in that combine. A lot of guys almost going over the bars and all that. And I'm sure everyone's seen it at this point. The Chance's interview on the pre-staging show, the pre-race show that Jason Wagon and Jason Thomas do. He said, "Hey, we'll be racing at Paula," but he didn't say amateur pro. So I believe Chance Hymas is going pro. I'm expecting him to go pro, and yeah, and he pretty much confirmed that he didn't have an injury at Loretta's, which was weird. So it makes that even weirder, the fact that he didn't do very well at Loretta's. But hey, everyone has bad races and bad weeks. You're not going to win every single race. And yeah, you gotta have the good days you gotta have bad days to enjoy the good ones. So yeah. Let's see here. That's all I have here for sub-storylines in 250. So I guess this will be a little shorter, and plus you guys don't have all day to watch YouTube, so I understand that. let's talk about not Paul, 450s. Oh my. Awesome racing. Like, honestly, whoever wins this championship is gonna fully earn it at Paula. Basically, now what needs they leave Ironman. Chase and Eli leave Ironman the same as they came in. It's still, Tomac has a 1-point advantage here. So basically, if they split motos, Eli wins the championship. So Chase's only hope at Paula is that if they are gonna split motos, say Eli comes in and wins Moto 1, then Chase needs to win Moto 2 and have Eli finish worse than third or worse. I'm doing the math off my head here. Let's see. So 3-point gap, 1 point. You're gonna have 4 points, 3. I think Eli has to finish 4th or worse if Chase wins that second moto, but Eli wins the first moto. Basically, Chase's only hope here is that he needs to go 1-1, or he has to have Eli have like a horrible race, which we have seen. It can happen. It can happen. Literally, Chase has, I believe, the best shot to win this title. And here's why. Paula at the beginning of the year. That's why. What happened at the beginning of the year at Paula? Eli had a weirdo moto at Paula, where he finished 7th but went backwards. But who went 1-1 at Paula? Exactly. I believe if everything is going well, and yeah, Eli, other than 2019 and 2020, has not been very good at Paula. Now, like I brought up last week, like I brought up here, I think I brought it up in my last Let's Talk Motocross video, which y'all should definitely go check out. It's pretty cool. Like I brought it up there, and I'll bring it up here because I know more people will watch this. Eli won the second Paula last year, 450 Moto 2 at Paula last year. The second time we went there by 40 seconds. Yes, he dominated one of the motos at Paula last year. But let me just remind you, Dylan Ferrandis did not need to win that moto. Dylan Ferrandis and Chase Sexton is still in a must. Like, Chase Sexton needs to go 1-1, or hope that Eli has worse than third moto. That's like, if Eli, say Chase comes out, wins the first moto, but Eli struggles to a 4th, then Chase, all Chase needs to do at that point, I believe, is just finish behind Eli in the second moto. Like, these guys are gonna be totally going at, like, next weekend is gonna be absolutely insane. As far as this weekend, it was crazy, absolutely insane, just mind-blowing. Let me take you through this. So we go first moto, and Kenny gets the whole shot, I believe. One of the basically Chase and Eli start, what, 10th? 9th and 10th, I believe, and then Eli gets through the pack a little bit better, and he makes his way to the lead, and then Chase is still stuck. It was kind of like Unadilla for Chase today in the first moto, but unfortunately, as we all saw, he couldn't close it out. So Chase catches everyone. Roxon clearly let him by in both motos, let's be real. But Chase eventually gets up to Eli, passes him, but he has a really close moment there. Let me just talk about that when I get to that section of the track where this incident happened. But basically, he gets to Eli, passes him, and I believe he gapped out a little bit. Like I said, the motos were a few hours ago. I haven't even watched the highlights yet. Or I've just watched the broadcast so far. So yeah, but Eli lets him go a little bit. Chase gaps, I believe it was like 3 or 4 seconds he got out. But then the last 2 laps, oh my god. Eli Tomac pours it on the last 2 laps. Absolutely pours it on. Like, he goes beast mode, basically. What we saw from Tomac first moto with like 2 or 3 laps to go was beast mode. Eli Tomac went beast mode. And I'm telling you right now, if beast mode shows up in the first moto next week and he does that and he wins, if Eli Tomac can pull out the first moto and Paula next weekend, I think Eli's going to win the championship. But I think Chase is going to go 1-1. Anyway, oh my god. It came out of nowhere too. Eli Tomac's beast mode charge came out of nowhere. I'm sitting there with like, I think it was 3 laps ago when he turned on beast mode. But earlier in the race, like I said, I was gonna point this out when I came up to the section. This is a section. Earlier, Chase is trying to catch Eli, catches a little square edge here, and then cuts the track right next to this tree and goes right here. I don't think that's going to be an issue. I don't think that was an issue, because if it was an issue, a penalty, I think we would have heard about it going in the second moto. So I think Chase is fine. He didn't gain that. He didn't really gain an advantage. So, but boy, I'm sure a lot of people were nervous that he was going to get docked and it was going to ruin this championship. Luckily, it didn't. But oh my God, I can't get over that charge by Eli. That was crazy. I'm sitting there, 1 minute to go in the race, and I believe the gap was like 3 or 4 seconds, something like that. It was over a second, I know that. And I was thinking, oh yeah, Chase is finally going to win. He's finally going to go 1-1. This is what he needs here to get back in his championship. He's going to take over the points lead today, and he'll be fine for Paula. Nope, 3 laps to go. Like I said, Tomac puts in his fastest lap of the race, passes Chase, and then puts his fastest lap of the race at a 2:01 at the end of the moto, like 30 minutes in. The clock was expired when you put in that 2:01, which is absolutely insane. Then they come out for Moto 2, and Chase does exactly what Chase Sexton needs to do. He gets a start and had a little bit of, let's be real, Chase Sexton had a little bit of help in that first moto. I'm not going to deny that at all. Chase Sexton had a little bit of help here because Kenny was out front, Chase was second. I believe Chase got the whole shot, but obviously the one guy you don't want behind you at the beginning of the motos is Ken Roxon, because he got around Chase, opened up a little bit. Chase caught back up to him. Kenny clearly let him by, said, hey, take off. And then Eli got to Kenny, couldn't get around him, and Chase pulled a little bit, and then I think Chase got to like 5 seconds by the time Eli got up to second. Eli catches him and then has some issues with the ruts. And I believe if Eli did not have the issues with the ruts, he was probably going to do the same thing. Not taking anything away from Chase. Chase rode awesome that second moto, but it was going to be closer. Chase was not going to have a 9-second gap at the end. Maybe he pulls it out just enough to beat Eli. But yeah, Chase Sexton wins the overall Ironman like I predicted. But he didn't go 1-1. I thought Chase was going to go 1-1. I believe Chase is going to go 1-1. One thing I hope they don't do, I hope they don't change the track around, because clearly Paula is better the normal way, the way they had it at the beginning of the year. I don't want to see the track backwards. I mean, it'll make it interesting to switch up the track now. But yeah, backwards is not cool. But yeah, I don't really care what they do, because this championship's absolutely going to be insane. And I probably have the luxury next weekend of standing behind the starting gate while these guys are lining up. So I get to see the intensity. I get to see the intensity that these guys are going to have in there. Like, I get to see all the backstage stuff basically next week. And don't ask how, I have connections. You may have seen one of those connections on the broadcast. Not on the broadcast, I'm sorry, on the you may have seen one of those connections on the practice show today, when they were talking about the Barsha Dillon incident, which I'm gonna shout out my favorite podcast here at the end of the show, just because they were at the race today. By the way, shout out to the Moto Aftermath show. Y'all should go listen to them. They were at the race today, and I feel so bad. So bad. But I don't feel as bad because of MX and Nations, and a certain rider's probably going to race that. But they made Dylan Danger Zone shirts for Dylan Ferrandis, and we're so excited to show them, to show Dylan at this race. And they couldn't because Dylan, I just feel so bad. Like, I'm sure Dylan will see them at MX and Nations because they're going to that too. But yeah, shout out to you guys, Travis and Justin from the Moto Aftermath show. Best podcast out there. I guarantee you guys would like it too. Yeah, that's about all I have here. Dungey just continues to be 4th place. I think the surprise here, not really a surprise, Aaron Plessinger went 3-3 for 3rd overall. That was really cool. Dungey, like I said, no luck. He cannot get a podium to save his life. He just can only get 4th. Anderson fell in the first corner in the first moto, and it was really good the second moto. But yeah, Paula's going to be crazy next week. Absolutely wild. So yeah, my winners for Paula, I think Jet wins Paula and wraps up the title of the first moto, honestly. And bold prediction, and y'all actually might like me for this one, I'm going to say Hayden Deegan gets a podium in one of the motos. That's just, I just have a feeling here. 450s, like I said, I'm sticking to it. I think Chase goes 1-1 and wins his title. I just don't see it going any way else. Eli, I think Eli's gonna fight for it, but Chase is just so damn good at Paula. Most of his overall, 2 out of his 4 or 5 overall wins are at Paula. He went 1-1 there at the beginning of the year. Just the evidence doesn't lie. So yeah, I think Chase goes 1-1, and I believe Jet Lawrence and Chase Sexton are going to be your title winners this year. But yeah, thank you all so much, guys, for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below. We've been growing rapidly, so I thank you very much for that. And yeah, my race recap next weekend is going to come out a little bit late because, like I said, I'm going to the Paula National. I am working the Paula National. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.